Hello, my name is Melinda Johnson, and this PowerPoint presentation is a summary of the article Gleaning the Fields of Change, Adoption of Information and Communication Technologies in Religious Organizations by Weil McCulley, a faculty member at Albion College and Lansing Community College. The abstract sets the stage for the article. It starts with the assumption that most religious organizations are behind in online technology. The author attempts to identify the challenges that religious leaders face when adopting online information and computer technologies, or ICTs, into their organization. He limits his research to leaders in the United Methodist denomination for reasons which we'll discuss in a moment. The introduction describes the way churches have successfully adopted new communication technologies in the past, including the printing press, radio, and television. ICTs are the next wave of technology to incorporate. ICTs have already transformed the way individuals interact with one another. Now, religious individuals are working to redefine the relationships between their faith and the faith communities that they attend. The technology is too new to determine if an online presence will produce the same results as a physical presence where faith is involved. The literature review section examines several issues around ICTs. ICTs have changed the way people interact with each other and with their social networks. Many also use technology for spiritual connections. The socio-technical gap, the gap between what technology can do and what people expect it to do, can also pose problems in an organization. In other words, physical presence creates a context that's hard to communicate to those not sharing the same space. Some scholars question whether online spirituality is authentic. They claim that physical presence is required for certain religious rituals. The paper examines the dialectic tensions present in a religious organization considering adoption of ICTs and looks at the consequences that arise when those tensions are resolved. In designing the study, McCulley chose to examine only one denomination since denomination can influence perception, and he wanted all interviewees to share the same rules, procedures, and governance. He chose the United Methodist denomination because of its size and hierarchical structure, and because he had connections with the denomination to facilitate data collection. An interview protocol was developed so all subjects would be asked the same questions in the same fashion and order, and theoretical sampling was used to select the subjects. 27 interviews were conducted. The breakdown of subjects included 19 ordained clergy, 6 youth directors, and 4 ordained clergy who worked with youth. After interview data was compiled, 3 dialectic tensions emerged. Subjects said they struggled with the speed that information could travel with ICTs. While the technology was beneficial for sharing upcoming events and prayer concerns, it could also be harmful by communicating misinformation or gossip at high speeds. While many subjects saw an advantage of ICTs to help keep in touch with members who are out of town or housebound, they worried about members regularly replacing communal worship with individual worship. They also experienced tension between younger members who were comfortable with new technology and older members who were more reluctant to embrace it. In the discussion section, religious leaders detailed 3 ideas they had used to help implement ICTs into their congregations. They recommended intensive planning, including identifying specific goals to be achieved by ICT adoption. To help make ICT adoption more palatable, some respondents reported using the technology to augment existing communication methods rather than replacing them. To help bridge the generational technology gap between older and younger members, leaders advised having open conversation and getting congregational buy-in during the adoption process to make sure everyone felt heard and valued. The paper concludes with 3 main thoughts for churches to consider. Churches must figure out positive ways to respond to concerns of new media in order to adopt it successfully. While the presented survey was small and narrow in scope, it indicated that ICTs are transforming religious organization processes. Religious leaders are educated about the pros and cons of ICTs and are weighing the benefits and risks that adoption of those tools can bring to their organization. McCulley cited 41 references in the paper. The reference list follows. Thank you for viewing this presentation.